Aliens Fireteam has now been out for over a week, and has so far received more positive reviews than negative. I didn't get it at launch, and I did make a video on why I wasn't going to, and why I didn't think anybody should pre-order it. But because of all the positive reviews the game's been receiving, I thought, why not, I'll go ahead and get it. I don't get review copies or anything like that, no freebies, so I have to buy it as well as everybody else. And it's £35 here in the UK, I believe it's like $40 in the US. So I got it just before last weekend, and have been playing it all week. I completed the main story in less than 6 hours, and then the game erased 2 hours of my progress. However, just after that happened, a patch was released fixing many issues, and the progress saving one was one of them. Would have appreciated that at launch, but you know, I just have to bend over and take that one up the tailpipe. So, after replaying those last 4 missions and finally completing the game again, and actually getting to play the Horde mode, I could then relax and just soak up the game. So I've been playing it all week, and as a huge Alien fan, I do like the game, but it does have some issues. So I'll start with the good, and then I'll move on to the bad. The good stuff in Aliens Fireteam is in fact plentiful, with a great gameplay loop, excellent gunplay, the look and feel of the weapons is cool, and the sound of them is badass, especially the pulse rifle. I mean, let's be honest, the pulse rifle just sounds amazing. The customization on your weapons, from attachments with different stat increases to skins and decals, is a nice touch. You can also unlock or buy from a vendor different headgear, and at the moment only one other costume for your Marine per class. There are 5 classes to choose from, 4 available from the start of the game, and then the Recon class is unlocked once you beat the 4 main campaigns. Each class has its own perks and abilities, like the Gunner and the Demolisher, dealing out heavy damage and buffing the party's attack, the Tech class being able to use turrets and other defensive abilities, and the Doc being the medic of the group with healing and more healing. And of course the Recon class, which is the, let's let the Tech one, can give out sort of like a little radar ball thingy that you see in Prometheus, and other sort of support gizmos. I haven't really played much of the Recon class, if I'm honest. I kind of just play one with the Gunner and the pulse rifle. It's kind of like my thing. But the 4 campaigns have 3 missions apiece, and there's also a Horde mode, like I said, unlocked once they are beaten. The story takes place 20 years after Aliens, and that's about all the story in the game, to be honest, because you basically just run and gun through waves of Xenos and other enemies, including synthetics, and that's pretty much the game. They didn't really go full steam ahead with the story. I think I would have preferred a story mode and then a Horde mode separate, and moments within the story which is a Horde mode. However, the gameplay overall is effectively just move from point to point in Horde mode. But that's what they advertise the game as, so that's absolutely fine. If that's your thing, then go nuts. You know, there are a ton of weapons to use, from auto rifles, handguns, shotguns, smart rifles, pulse rifles, flamethrowers, SMGs, grenade launchers, sniper rifles, etc, etc. There's like over 30, which is quite impressive, especially at launch. Each individual weapon and class can be leveled up, making stats increase, fire rate, damage, etc. And you can unlock nodes that can be slotted into each class's ability grid that offer different stat boosts and extending the, the usage of your abilities, or the recharging of those abilities, which again is pretty cool. There's also a challenge card system that can either increase the game's difficulty by removing the HUD and the motion tracker, making your guns fire at half the rate but increase in damage, making your guns jam occasionally. You can have challenge cards that give you double XP, triple XP if you complete a specific mission without anybody going down. There are hidden caches hidden amongst the levels that randomly change position that have the cosmetics and currency rewards within them, which is pretty cool. And there are consumables like mines and turrets and special ammo that can be found in chests. You can find them in the levels, or again you can buy them from the vendor. There are no microtransactions as of yet. And there is DLC, both free and paid, coming in the following months, apparently. However, now on to the bad. Content is the big red flag with this game. What is there is fun to a degree. If you're playing alone with the two AI companions, you're in for a pretty wank time. They are as thick as shit. They are also, there are times where they just stand there and just take punishment. Don't get me wrong, the alien A or the enemy AI is also thick at times as well and does kind of mong out occasionally. But like I said, the friendly AI would just stand there and get slapped about. So playing with them on anything higher than easy mode is just a pointless endeavour. If you play with friends, it's better. Or you can now, since patches, you can now actually match up with other players, which I've done on many of occasion. Unfortunately, if you're a low-level player just starting and think, I'll start out on like a higher difficulty mode, don't. You ruin it for the people that have ranked up, because you'll just get slapped about and killed very quickly, and then they just got to carry your ass. So don't do it, okay? There are a few bugs and glitches here and there, one of which doesn't load in the textures for the level, so you'll have to play the whole level in what looks like an oil painting mode. There are some audio glitches at times. Before the recent patch, it wouldn't save your data, like I said, and the way the game saves anyway is crap. Only saving once you've done a mission, so then anything you change cosmetically or whatnot between each mission sometimes won't save. So you've got to change your character and your class or whatnot, then do another mission, then it will save. There are disconnects when playing online and matching with the randoms, which is annoying, especially if you get to the end of a level. Sometimes you can struggle to find people online depending on the time, but 9 times out of 10 I find people. The Horde mode is only one map, and as the whole game itself, like I said before, is a Horde mode, that feels rather redundant, and hopefully they give not just one at a time like every 2-3 months. This game needs more content, or it's not going to sell well at all. I've had to restart a few levels a few times as it bugs out right at the end, not letting you finish the mission basically. So there's nothing to shoot, you can run around, it doesn't freeze, it just will not progress. And there are no checkpoints during missions, even on lower difficulty settings, and that just sucks all the donkey dick. Also, I have to say, the music overall in the game is very underwhelming and generic and feels like standard sort of like background Star Wars music, if that makes sense, like really low-key cantina music. And I think I would have preferred if they got the license for Aliens, they could get the further license to the music, because if we had the Aliens soundtrack in here with the pounding, the musical score, it would have made it a hell of a lot better. Don't get me wrong, Aliens Fireteam is an okay game. I mean, even though it has little to no story and little to no content at the moment, with still a few bugs and issues to be ironed out. However, they are patching it every couple of days, they are sorting it out, and they are going to support the game. It does show promise, and and that's a big if, the game is supported correctly and not like Predator, this will definitely be a game to get in the future, especially if you're an Alien fan. But as it stands now, and even as a huge fan of the franchise myself, and I did have fun playing the game, I have to be non-biased, and I have to give Aliens Fireteam a score of 5 out of 10. It's average, basically. It's just there. It's very overpriced. I think if this was below £20 or $20, it would have been okay. But games should not be released as a starting point or a platform to then build on top of with basic features and content. Games should be released completed, and then if extra content is going to be created, fine. But this is a game that's clearly just been made bare bones, the bare minimum viable product, and just put out there to quickly make money. And I hope the game is supported, because Aliens took a smashing 10 years ago with Aliens Colonial Marines. It brought itself back with Isolation, which in my opinion, Alien Isolation I should say, is still the best Alien game. For me, personally, still the best one. And in all honesty, Aliens Fireteam is not worth picking up yet. It's not worth buying yet. Of course, that is a double-edged sword, as if no one gets it now, then it won't sell, there'll be no sales, and they won't support it due to poor sales. But again, should we let that be the deciding factor on game design? Let's release a quarter of the game now, and then a quarter at a time spread out throughout the next 24 months. That's a piss poor model. But That's just what I think. Thank you very much for watching this review. Please let me know down in the comments what you think. And as a final note, yes, this game is miles better than Predator Hunting Reigns. I was all hyped for that game. I reviewed it last year, made a couple of videos. I tried and I tried and I tried, and they dropped the bollock on that one. So hopefully the bollocks will be repaired with this game. But thank you very much for watching, and until next time.